The past week or so, Bob Nielsen has been somewhat of an enigma in that he's been both sought after and at the same time very hard to find. We hadn't spoken to Nielsen since last Wednesday when it was announced that he was one of 3 finalists for the open head football coaching position at Western Illinois. With that national championship last season and the thought of a repeat championship this season, he said coming back to college was an easy choice. He won't know for sure his status until later on in training camp. The season starts a month from today, the regular season that is, so we'll know by then whether Odom is a member of the Chargers. Tom, the numbers of this game are really indicative of how big a matchup it really is. Obviously you can hear the Hermantown band behind me, but the Hawks have scored 78 goals in their first 10 contests coming into this matchup. Duluth Marshall has scored 41 goals in their 11 games this year. Hermantown ranked 4th in Class A. Duluth Marshall ranks 7th.
Zach, in for Tom with a preview of sports tonight. Zach?
We didn't need a study to tell us that, Kevin.
We all know that already. Minnesota nice, right?
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little UMD today, though. We'll hear again from the Dogs' new football coach and athletic director. They're both very nice. Plus, we'll talk about getting back into the swing of college hockey. Holiday break almost over for the UMD men. The Dogs' win against Upper Iowa last weekend marked their 17th straight victory, dating all the way back to the beginning of last season. Joining me right now, Isaac Odom, former UMD Bulldog running back, former San Diego Charger running back. Isaac, you spent about a month out there in the NFL, a bona fide professional player.
Zach Schneider joins us now. Zach, that certainly didn't take long.
No, it happened fast, Jen. And we said Wednesday that UMD did have the people in place to fill these roles potentially if that's the way they wanted to. That proved true today. Not only was Brown participating in the Wilds camp this summer, he also took part in the camp of the Philadelphia Flyers. I took a sneak peek at these babies. They are big and shiny. UMD captain from last year, Mike Montgomery, was just here on stage. He looked at the rings and all he said was, that was pretty cool. Vikings fans everywhere, lots of them anyways, were calling in the middle of this season for Joe Webb to replace Christian Ponder at quarterback. Tonight, those fans got their wish. Ponder inactive with an elbow injury, so Webb was bumped up to starter. With that, he became the first NFL quarterback to start a playoff game after not having thrown a pass in the entire regular season.
Basketball only lasts so long, so I just want to become the best player that I can, and when I'm done, I don't want to have any regrets, just that I worked as hard as I could.
Anders Broman may also look back on high school and see his name firmly planted atop the list of Minnesota's all-time leading scorers.
It's not everything, but to have him be the all-time Minnesota scoring record, that'd be really cool.
Definitely if it happens, you never know. Yeah, but I just have to bring it back to my team and my coaches. I couldn't have done it without them.
He doesn't want to talk about it. We really don't talk about it as a family. It's not something that we dwell on or talk about.
Minus the Bromans, plenty of people are talking about the career Anders has put together. He has 3,834 points headed into his senior year. That's just 252 points shy of the all-time state record.
In his whole career, to score that many points, plus be unselfish and just be a leader for the team, it's crazy what he's done.
To be this good, you have to work.
Last one.
And Broman does just that. 5 days a week during the offseason, he starts his afternoons here with off-the-court conditioning at Impact Sports Training in Duluth.
Well, it just gives you a whole bunch of confidence, playing because, you're so much stronger, faster, and it just gives you more confidence out on the court, and it helps everything else.
Anders has done outstanding with us work ethic-wise, just discipline, good person, very humble. Just an outstanding kid all around.
All right, ready?
On the court, and Broman's regimen isn't any less strenuous. 400 makes per day. That's his off-season schedule. He does that 6 times a week. 2,400 made baskets per week for Anders Broman. Combine those 2 workouts with a third 6 days out of the week and add that to the everyday rigors of being a high school senior. For Broman's father, that type of workload is something to be proud of and worried about at the same time.
We use the analogy of the window shutting. It's closing every day. Don't miss a workout. Don't miss a practice. And Anders took it to heart in such a way where it's almost, sometimes I get a little bit nervous that he's doing too much.
Even with Dad's warning, a recent commitment to Division I South Dakota State makes Anders say now is the time to work more, not less.
That was my dream to play Division I. So, it's crazy to think that, I accomplished it, but, now I gotta, it's not over now. I gotta work even harder now to become an even better player because, it's a whole different game going from high school to college.
That last year of high school should be a special one, though, with a possible scoring title and a second straight state tournament in the offing. Still, Broman would prefer not to talk about it.
You should never be talking about yourself, just let others talk about yourself. I just try to go out and, let my actions speak louder than words.
He has certainly done that, and thus far, given us 3,834 reasons to remember him. In Duluth, I'm Zach Schneider reporting. At number 3 this week, we'll go with Jordan Paratello to Scott Webb. This play ended up as the game winner, sends Greenway Nashwauk-Keewatin to the Class 3A state football tournament. They win 14-7 on Friday night over Cloquet. Later, Jake Jensen breaking a big one here up the middle, cut to the near sideline, about 25 yards on the carry. And of course, you dance with the one that brung you. Jensen gonna punch it in on the very next play. A little how do you do here at the goal line. 9-0 Saints led in the first quarter. Rapids Matt Soderberg with the shot. Jace Luoma with the tip in front. That makes it 1-0 Thunderhawks in the first period. Opening minute of the second period now, the Lumberjacks find the equalizer off the stick of Justin Heyman. 1 goal apiece. This game's tied. First quarter, Hounds quarterback Alex Toscano running. He's going to pitch it here. The referees rule this a legal pitch. Looks like it went forward. Quentin Coleman ends up with it. He ends up in the end zone for East. 7-0. Greyhounds with the lead. Jim's first point goes to East. Elena Lusheen with the kill. The Hounds up 1-0 in their new home. Lusheen also with the first ace in East's new place. Rapids can't handle that serve from Lusheen. This later, Danielson again, clever step over, turns his defender inside out, and this time he beats Campbell to the low left corner, 1-0. And we pick this one up in the 5th inning. Carleton leading 1-0. Kristen Lottie hits into a fielder's choice. Deanne Bierkley in to score 1-1. The game is tied, and that worked for Tigers pitcher Sarah Sauter. This one of her 13 strikeouts. For the first time in 2012, the St. Scholastica football team put on the pads Tuesday afternoon.
Keep going. There you go. Come on.
But for one of the Saints' new freshmen, it was the first time ever in football gear.
I was really nervous that they wouldn't be receptive, but the response that I got from not only the coaches but the teammates as well was incredible and overwhelming, and they helped me out in so many ways that I didn't think they would, but they definitely did.
Laura Bakken of Cloquet spent last season as a cheerleader for Saints football. After watching for a year, though, she decided she wanted more.
I've always cheered because I love the sport, and I wanted to get close to the sport, and I wanted to be right there in the action. And I remember standing on the sidelines and being, this isn't quite close enough. I want to be closer. I want to be right in the action.
The first step for Bakken toward her goal was a conversation with St. Scholastica head coach Greg Carlson.
Came out last January and asked to join our team, and she went through our off-season conditioning program, went through our spring practices, so she's out here today working on her kicking skills.
Skills that she plans to continue improving with the hopes that one day she'll be helping her new teammates win football games.
Eventually, over my career, I'd really like to play in the game, but I really just want to work on my ability and get to be the best player I can be. And if that means sitting on the bench the whole career or making a field goal, I'd like it to be the second one.
Good, I like that.
It's a dream. It really is a dream. If you have the love, do it. That's what I'd say.
In Duluth, I'm Zach Schneider, the Northlands News Center.
Back to pass, hurry up offense, throws it to the end zone. Joey Reichert for 6, number 6.
His long blonde hair makes him very easy to recognize for UMB fans, but junior wide receiver and Superior native Joe Reichert has a few other traits that make him very easy to pick out on a football field.
A whole lot of energy. He's pretty much the energizer of our crew.
You know, Joe's a guy who leads by hustle, and he will outwork any opponent on the field. And takes an immense amount of pride in that, and you know, he helps bring our younger guys along.
Those younger guys are sophomore Zach Zweifel and Aaron Roth, both of whom have become integral parts of this Bulldogs offense. That's at least partially in thanks to the mentoring efforts of Reichert.
When Roth and Zweifel came in, just young guys, so I just tried to put myself out there and help them, teach them, guide them through.
With a team-high 18 catches and 3 touchdowns through 4 games, it's clear Reichert's role on the field for the Bulldogs is expanding as well. He's quickly turning into one of the favorite targets for senior quarterback Chase Vogler.
Joe's a good player. He's good with the ball in the air, and you know, it's an offensive scheme where it's not really a one-on-one thing. It's kind of finding zones and hitting holes, and you know, all of our receivers so far this year have done a great job getting open, and you know, when they do that, it makes my job a lot easier.
So with whatever he's asked to do, on the field or off for these Bulldogs, Reichert says he'll oblige with a singular objective in mind.
Playing offense, special teams, whatever, I just want us to win. National championship is it, honestly.
In Duluth, I'm Zach Schneider, the Northlands News Center.
Now Lopez has some space to maneuver. Over to Miller. Miller back to Lopez. He shoots, he scores! Jeremy Lopez. And this is getting interesting. Jeremy Lopez with the goal, his 7th of the year. A great play between him and Anthony Miller there. Puts it in front, he scores! Scott Wasbotton, what a play! What a play by the Hermantown Hawks as he was hauled down. That was Nate Pionk as he was hauled down in neutral, got back up, kept control of the puck, and found Scott Wasbotton on the weak side. Now on the half-boards, up top to Sepp. Sepp puts it near the net, blocked away by Wasbotton. He clears. Freilich now, down low to Lopez. Lopez ridden off the puck, and Jake Zalesnikar rings it all the way down, and that'll get all the way out back to the Marshall zone for Hermantown. 40 seconds left now in the man advantage for Duluth Marshall. They trail Hermantown 3-2 right now in the 3rd period. Chris McKenzie gains the blue line, dumps it around where it'll meet Jeremy Lopez and Christian Wasbotton on the half-boards there. Half-boards there. Now up to Sepp. Sepp brings it back across. Shot there by Miller, and that was Lopez with the chance on the rebound, but that went wide.